So, it's November, and what is the very first holiday or special day that people think about? If you're talking about Thanksgiving, it's not the adult thing normal people think about. We think about elections, hence my American flag with the Mickey Mouse faces on it. And there are a bunch of articles that have been piling up in October about the upcoming elections for school board. So, starting with Enfield, which was posted in the paper on the 25th, um, the candidates all agreed on the importance of school safety and the value of teacher and student input in major issues. That's a good thing. The incumbent Republican candidate Peter Janitis and Tom Sinard spoke against the Common Core, saying that it takes away from the teachers. Money does not solve problems. Money doesn't solve problems, but it helps. And you have to have smart people working on these issues. I like the Common Core, but it needs work, especially with my history with the social studies curriculum in the Common Core. Fifth grade just says point blank, teach the American Revolution. That's a wide topic for a full year's curriculum, whereas mathematics has a pacing guide. I really like that, and I hope that all the different things have their pacing guides as well. Serard said the Common Core standards are creating too much paperwork, and it forces teachers to mine data. I'm not sure if it forces them to mine data, but data is important in behavioral analysis, in RTI, response to intervention, in RTT, response to treatment. All of these things, we need data to help us guide our practice. Republican candidate David Walker is a societal problem with bullying, and parents need to take care of their children. Yes, parents need to take care of their children, but if you look at the history, what about sex education? Sex education has become a burden on the state and part of the curriculum in middle schools and even elementary schools because parents aren't doing their jobs, or they're saying that it's okay to just say don't have sex, or use too much religion, or as religion is separated from public education. So they get to hear the science behind their sexual organs and that sort of thing. Same concept with bullying. Bullying, they could just say don't do it. If there's more of a curriculum-based thing, not just second step, but if there's some kind of curriculum-based thing or a discussion that can be had every day or every week, every month, it could benefit the kids. So I disagree, David Walker. Democrat Vincent Wezeliza, I hope I said that right, he did not attend the debate, but he's working on obligations. I wish that I could have read some about his politics, considering most of these people are all Republicans and he was the only Democrat in the article mentioned. So, the future Board of Ed wants to improve communications with the community. Great. Please have some wraparound services. I know my new niece and nephew live in Enfield, but they also live in Windsor Locks with their mother. So, we'll see how that goes. But I'm still all over Connecticut. On October 29th, Peter Marquetta posted this article for 6 seats on school board in Glastonbury. And I really like how he did his article because he specifically pointed out things about each candidate. The incumbent Rosemary Coggeshall said, I hear it all across town, especially going door to door. Everyone wants a good education for our students. It's great to hear, and I love it, but it also motivates you to get pumped up to serve again. So let's see her stay in, and I don't know if there's a lot of changes that need to be made, but maybe she can get some ideas from the others. Then again, stealing ideas is like plagiarism. I don't want plagiarism. Number 2, his first name, I don't see first name, I just see Foley, was, has several children in the school system, and he looks at the negative effects with eliminating teacher positions. They need leadership support, educational initiatives to improve education and save taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, saving money is important. I get that. As an educator, I always look at make the district spend more, but I understand we need to curtail the expenditures and still maximize the students' ability to learn and thrive in not just school but life as well. Number 3, Flesher, a teacher at Buckley High School in Hartford, moved to the town with his family a year ago. Said the common theme he hears on the campaign trail is concerned about taxes and school spending. They want to keep getting the quality and figure out how to get that technology that they need. And I understand that technology is really expensive, so I'd hope that alliances with various companies could help with that. Number 4, George, who owns public property and government affairs, consulting with people, says he wants to devote himself to ensuring that Glastonbury's educational system is strong and competitive in a global marketplace. So, taking George's idea and blending it with Flesher's idea, why not make those connections with various businesses for the technology and for other things? Yeah, we need technology, we need it in the school system for sharing ideas, but also can't we use wraparound services? Can't we get transitional help with the high school students to go on to the rest of their lives, whether it be college or other? So look at what's around in Glastonbury and see if that can help. I had one Glastonbury friend join me at Central when I was an undergrad, but I didn't see too many people from Glastonbury there. Most of them were from the south of the state. Democrats hope to keep their majority in the school board in Farmington, Connecticut. And this article by Nicholas Rondianon is really good because it outlines all 3 candidates that are in it, as well as the 3 Republicans that are running for those positions. First, Suda talks about the election being about leadership and not about people in general. I really like that outlook because Board of Ed is supposed to be the leaders of how the educational system is run. Next, O'Brien wants to move forward seamlessly, and the best way to do that is to keep those people who are already working on various aspects of the department to stay in their positions and continue the task at hand. Number 3, Beckert said, "There's so much at stake and we've laid so much groundwork. We wouldn't want to take any steps back." And that concept of not wanting to take any steps back is kind of like that commercial lately that has the father telling the son, what if you were working at a project for a year and found out that they're not moving forward with it. It's canceled.
Wow, I love Jell-O.
Why?
Well, imagine waking up every morning with a little less hair, then driving to work in heavy traffic, only to find out that the project you were working on for a year was suddenly canceled. Well, the chocolatey taste of Jell-O pudding makes up for all that.
Here, you need this more than me.
On the Republican side of things, the 3 Republicans seem to have a background in finance, which kind of worries me because I should hope that everyone in the Board of Education has some sort of experience in the classroom, whether it be as teachers, special education teachers, psychologists, psychiatrists, wraparound service people, OT or PT teachers, which wouldn't normally go into Board of Education, but they might. And don't forget paraeducators. They're vital as well. But here, Curtis is talking about his experience in being a former trustee with the University System of New Hampshire, and that gave him insight into education decision making. It's a little bit different when you're looking at the university versus looking at a K through 12 school, or even pre-K through 12. So with his experience with Baker's experience in accounting, again, he thinks that will help best allocate the board's budget. But why are we just talking about budget? And 6, Bloor works at the Hartford, or worked at the Hartford as a senior representative. The Hartford is insurance, and Hartford, Connecticut is known as the insurance capital of Connecticut and or the U.S., maybe even the world. He said his experience with negotiations will help him bring everyone on the board together. And it is good to have that background of communication, but don't just communicate to parents and students and faculty and staff. You also need to communicate with each other and determine the best course of action for general education, for budgetary concerns, for special education, and the legalities mentioned in IDEA, Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. With all this talk about hiring, it's really good to look at the ethical concerns, and that is why on October 30th, Manchester is talking about their board hiring policy. They had recently hired somebody from another position in the district, and they thought, for a school counselor, and they thought this was a bad hire because it puts the awkward position of accepting the job applicants from sitting board members, and if they're not hired, there could be some kind of legal issue with the fight of why didn't you hire me. School officials have said their policies do not prevent a board member from applying or being hired for the district job. If that's in their bylaws, they cannot ban such things. They would have to make this a law that says, sorry, that's it, it's banned. But avoiding any perception of a revolving door between elected volunteer positions and salaried jobs. It kind of seems like in the article there's a fight between Mr. Pohl and, who was it? The incumbent Republican Ron Atwater. Atwater thinks it's a travesty, and Pohl thinks it's a way to set policy, he should be part of attending the policy committee. So he's basically just saying, show up. No taxation without representation. I had to with the Times. Sorry. I'm not a history major. Don't let my dad tell you I am. But I agree. We should all be on the board at the meetings to determine the best cause of action, listening to all the incoming information, not just reading reports, but actually seeing the people and seeing how they feel about issues. If you're talking about, in different districts, having students and teachers have their input heard, then you need to be present to actually hear that input and see them, meet them. That's just the way I see it.